Derbyshire moved clear at the top of the LV County Championship Second Division table as they defeated Glamorgan, who collapsed once again by 8 wickets with a day to spare for their third success of the summer. Derbyshire resumed in their first innings 99 runs ahead on 333 for 5, but then lost their last 5 wickets for only 19 runs. David Wainwright, who was to bowl his side to victory later on, was fooled by a ball from Simon Jones and edged it to Jim Allenby. John Clare followed at the start of the next over, the day's third, by slicing a delivery from Hugh Waters to Dean Cosker in the gully. Tom Poynton was well held by Mark Wallace as Waters struck again soon afterwards. Tim Groenewald was yorked by Jones for his second wicket on his comeback. And Mark Foote, batting with a runner because of a hip injury, lost his off stump to Waters, leaving Wayne Madsen unbeaten on 130 in what was a very top-heavy looking scorecard. In 45 minutes, Derbyshire had lost their way to be dismissed for 355, and that gave them a first innings lead of 119. And that soon looked to be a huge one when Gareth Rees was legged before to Groenewald, who then bowled Nick James after he chose the wrong delivery to leave alone, although to be fair, it was a very good one. In just more than an hour's cricket, 7 wickets had suddenly fallen. That left Glamorgan on 6 for 2, and the side which has seen one collapse follow another this summer must have feared the worst. Thankfully for them, Will Bragg and Marcus North were able to get to lunch with no further losses. On the resumption, Wes Durston picked up the crucial wicket of North, the talented Australian not getting to the pitch of a ball and edging to Martin Guptill to go for 21. That effectively left the visitors on minus 62 for 3, but they then managed to knock off the deficit with no further losses to balance the game right back up. Bragg, playing intelligently, was the man to do that. He swung at anything on offer, and in partnership with Ben Wright, he appeared to be giving his side, which had lost 3 of its first 5 LV County Championship games this year, a real chance of getting something out of this one. Bragg went to his first 50 of the season with a quick single. That was to the 90th ball that he'd faced. He was by now dominating the scoring, playing some characteristic cuts off both pace and spin, and he soon had his side ahead in this game. This was turning out to be one of the better days that his side had had all season. Bragg's partnership with Wright moved on to 64. The lead then stood at just 4 when the match turned right back in Derbyshire's favour. Just when he needed to, Wainwright found the edge of Wright's bat to have him held by Durston for 17. Then, crucially, Bragg went in the next over, Poynton grabbing the ball at the second attempt after it had brushed the edge of his bat to give Durston another wicket. Bragg was out for an excellent 78. Poynton had another juggle in the final over before tea. This time he couldn't hold on and Wallace survived to go into the last session of the day. Few, though, would have expected it to be the last one of the match. Against the spin twins of Wainwright and Durston, Wallace and Allaby were able to take the total to 166 for 5, and that gave them a lead of 47. But yet again, the Welshmen collapsed horribly, losing their last 5 wickets for 22 runs in 10 overs. Wallace on 29 fell for a looping wide ball from Wainwright and edged an expansive drive to Durston. Allenby was then trapped in front by the left-arm spinner for his 3rd wicket. And his 4th came next ball as Waters missed a straight one to be bowled. Suddenly, Derbyshire were miles ahead, and a 3-day finish was even more of a possibility when Dean Cosker was bowled by Durston for 13. And the innings was finished off courtesy of an astonishing catch in the covers by Madsen, who clung on to Jones's firm back foot drive. The batsman could hardly believe it, but it gave Wainwright his second fifer of the summer, as he claimed figures of 5 for 51. So Glamorgan were all out for 188, and that gave their hosts 14 overs in this day to get the 70 runs they now needed to record their 3rd win of what is becoming a very promising season for them. Guptill drove Waters for a 6 and then pulled the same bowler for 4 to get his side off to a flyer. Paul Borrington also looked the business with some fine shots. None better than this perfect hit over the top for a maximum off Cosker as the total rattled along to 51 in just 7 overs. Guptill will have been upset not to see his side home, however. He drove Michael Reid to mid-on to depart for a 23-ball 30. and Madsen fell in the same over, finally being dismissed for the first time in the match. But with 9 balls of the day remaining, Borrington thumped Coscott over mid-wicket, and Derbyshire had rounded off a very professional performance once more by racing to their target in 12.5 overs, Borrington helping himself to 21 runs. Derbyshire now have to be serious promotion contenders. With Yorkshire failing to dominate in their match against Hampshire, the East Midlands county moved for now 17 points clear at the top of the second division table, their margin of victory here being 8 wickets. Glamorgan now have much work to do to avoid the wooden spoon. They've accumulated only 21 points in 6 matches. Derbyshire claimed 23 for this game alone.